Hey everybody, I'm here with Dr. Leanna Koval. She is a large animal veterinarian. There's a lot of different careers in the agricultural world, and one of them is to be a vet that takes care of all of the animals that are out on farms, whether they're people's pets for some purpose or for eating. So we're going to talk to her about what she does on a daily basis, kind of look at her truck, look at her supplies, and then we're going to walk through a kind of an exam for a goat and see what kind of treatments and things she will do to make sure that that goat is healthy and up to date with all of its kind of wellness stuff.
So small animal vets are what you probably typically think of that work with dogs and cats in like an office building. Large animal vets usually travel around to farms and work on bigger animals like horses and cows, even smaller animals like sheep, goats, and pigs. And that's what we typically do in my practice. We also work on alpacas and sometimes even chickens and turkeys. So we work just out of our vehicles. We're mostly driving around to farms and people's houses, so we have to have everything we need with us all the time. So we have these special boxes on the back that have a lot of different compartments that can fit all of our medicines and tools. So you can see we have all of our needles and different drugs that we'll use. Also cleaning supplies, fluids, stuff to do surgery. We do a lot of routine surgeries such as castrations and all kinds of animals, especially in the springtime. Sometimes we have to even do C-sections if there's a problem when an animal's giving birth, or hernias and other types of problems that animals can get. And this is what we typically do if we get called out for an animal that's sick. We just do a full exam of them and try and see what all is going on with them. So first we take their temperature, and unlike people and animals, you have to take the temperature in their butt. Then next, after we're waiting for the temperature to read, I'll listen to her heart and lungs and her stomach. And we're just checking to make sure everything sounds normal and that she has a normal heart rate and rhythm. And her stomach, we're listening for nice strong contractions. She should be having stomach contractions every 1 to 2 per minute. All right, Lucy sounds nice and normal. Things we look for especially on goats, is we check their color. So Lucy is kind of a pale pink here in her eyes. We want her to be a little bit more pink than that. We've been dealing with some parasite issues with her, so we're going to go ahead and give her another dewormer today and some vitamin B12, which will help her make more red blood cells so she gets a little more pink. So I'm going to show you one other normal husbandry thing with goats is trimming their hooves. It's just like trimming a fingernail. So we take these hoof trimmers and we'll just trim that long part. It's important so that they're not trapping a lot of mud and dirt in there, which can cause infection. And if they grow very long, they can adjust how their foot hits the ground and they can start walking with a limp and not being able to move around as easily. So to become a vet, you have to complete 4 years of undergraduate education. Usually people get a bachelor's in some sort of science field. I did animal science, but I also have a lot of classmates that did biology or even some like liberal arts majors too. But you do need a 4-year undergraduate degree first. And then it's a pretty competitive process to apply for veterinary school. And there's only about 28 schools in the United States, so it is difficult to get in.
Thank you so much for coming out and showing us how to do an exam on Lucy and asking or answering our questions. To just kind of wrap this up, I want you to kind of talk about what's your favorite thing about being a large animal vet and what's kind of the hardest part about being a vet.
My favorite thing is being outside and getting to work with a lot of different animals and different people and just driving around the nice, beautiful countryside in Maryland. Probably the hardest part, though, is just the unpredictability and the long hours some days and being on call. it's hard to do stuff with family all the time. But it's definitely something that you can work around.